Welcome to the world of group home riches, where you can achieve financial freedom while making a positive impact on society. Are you tired of working long hours for someone else? Do you dream of being your own boss and creating a better future for yourself and others? Look no further. With Group Home Riches, you can invest in real estate and provide a valuable service by offering safe and comfortable homes for individuals in need.
The number one investment in real estate.
And start building a better future for yourself and those around you. Let's make a difference together with Group Home Riches.
Because I did a lot of the courses from back in the 90s and early 2000s. I was doing a lot of, I can't think his name now. He's still around, still doing some training. He's in Phoenix. He's in Arizona. No, not Kiyosaki. Oh gosh, I can't think his name offhand. It's gonna come to me later. Probably after we finish talking.
Is he a wholesaler?
He does He's more so a creative investor. He does a lot of owner finance, subject to type deals. It's what he's more geared towards.
No, he's talking an OG from like
he's old school.
80s.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an older guy, and his voice, I can hear his voice. I just can't think of his name right now. I did his program as well too, though. He was back when the foreclosures was hot in 2000. He made his name in 2002 was when he was doing a lot of foreclosure stuff. Because that's when I started doing a lot of foreclosures, with me going through foreclosures on some of the properties I had. I had 137 rentals, still not having the knowledge. I went through foreclosure, and after going through it, I learned everything that I could about foreclosure, and I took his course and started doing short sales myself. Gosh, I almost had his name.
Was it Sean Terry?
It's not Sean T.
Okay.
I took his program too.
So
I don't have a problem with taking people programs once I see it's something that's going to advance me to the next level. And that's what hurt people. They look at that cost instead of looking at the outcome that you can possibly have. Stop looking at the cost and look at what the outcome would be. Because the outcome from a course would actually help you if you apply yourself.
100%. We say it all the time. You know, if you don't have the right mindset.
Ron LeGrand.
Oh, Ron LeGrand. Yeah, he's in Phoenix? I didn't realize that. Yeah, I know Ron.
Yeah, he's based out of Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, but you hit the nail on the head. If you don't have the right mindset, there's no amount of money or there's no amount of courses or education you're going to take. You know, you have to have the right positive mindset, work ethic, etc., to be able to succeed. And it's a small percentage to do across all industries. I would bet, I don't think they've ever done the study, but just from us doing it over the years, it's probably very, very comparable to the Pareto principle. Like only about 20% of people are going to actually do what needs to be done. But yeah, we tell people like, look, if you don't think this is going to work, if you're super skeptical, if you feel like, oh, I can't do this because of insert anything here, right? XYZ, I'm broke, or I don't have good credit, or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're just going to waste your money, you know?
Right.
Like there's a ton of information in the gold course, but if you don't have the right mindset to do anything with it, you know, there's no secrets in here. there's no magical tricks. I think a lot of people just spend a ton of time looking for secret info when the right stuff is just right in front of you. Like you can go talk to someone like Ron LeGrand or Carlton Sheets. They're going to tell you exactly what to do. You know, they're not hiding anything from you. So you got into that education and you ran with it. How many rental properties did you get up to?
Then I think I had 137 then. So I switched from rentals to flipping because I was doing a lot of rehabs. Just I had the knowledge and somebody to actually guide me to what I needed to do. What was my biggest problem? When you don't have the people to back you and guide you through what you need, you actually make a lot of mistakes. You do things that even though I was working in that field where I was dealing with a lot of contractors and getting people on board with doing work and doing that whole thing, I did not have the understanding of not being cheap. Instead of me bringing contractors in to do a lot of the work, I would actually bring friends in, and it was hurting. It was hurting me as far as not getting properties done fast enough, having properties sit vacant too long. That hurts when you don't know the ins and outs of a complete renovation and you trying to do it yourself and to save $1. It hurts you long term.
Yeah, the real estate game is a lot more difficult, I think, than most people realize. And this is why, I'm such a big proponent of group homes, because, you're talking about having 137 rental properties. Let me tell you what, even if you just take that number, divide by, just call it 4 or 5, you got 30 rental properties. 30 rental properties is going to be a full-blown nightmare for 9 out of 10 people, because they do not have the ability to manage the contractors, handle the vacancies, deal with the tenants, deal with the toilets, deal with all the trash that these tenants are leaving in the properties. And there's really no money in it either. I mean, 30 properties, whether you're in Chicago or even, one of these lower cost areas, probably best case scenario, you're making $6,000 a month net cash flow. And that's assuming everything goes perfectly. It's a hell of a lot easier just to go get 2 group homes.
And you know what's crazy, Andy? Because I had properties already, so I said, okay, I'm gonna turn one of the apartments into a place first, just because you want to test the water and get your feet wet. And I was getting a lot of, I'm not sharing units, I'm not sharing a room, I'm not doing that. I got a lot of that. And when I put my first person in here and saw what I was making off what I was renting the whole apartment for, I was getting that from one person. So it was a no-brainer after that. And it was proof of concept. So I was like, ain't no way in the world I'm renting out traditional again. This makes no sense for that. I have been doing this. I wish I'd have known about this when I had the 137 rentals.
Yep.
I would have jumped all over this. I wouldn't have
Absolutely.
lost one property. I wouldn't have sold one property. I wouldn't have been flipping and rehabbing and selling stuff like I was. I wouldn't have been wholesaling stuff off. I wouldn't have been doing none of that. So now, my problem now that I have is turning down deals. Because every deal I get, I look at it and it says, man, if I turned that into a group home, boy, I will make a mint off of it. And I always think about what Brandon says, that you said, if I have to calculate the return on investment, it's not a deal. So you don't even have to do that, because what I look at now is how many beds can I get in this place? And that's what I look at now. I don't look at the return on investments for the most part. I look at how many beds can we put in here and how many bodies can I get? And that's what makes me determine if it's going to be something that I want forward. So you look at it, you get a different perspective once you start understanding. It's a bed count, it's a body count, it's a how many people.
It's the name of the game is heads and beds.
Absolutely.
And look, and I tell everybody this also. It is heads and beds, but you don't want to go out and buy $400,000 homes or rent $400,000 homes. You need to be operating in B- and below neighborhoods. That's the name of the game. You want cheap real estate, cheap rent, and maximum number of heads and beds. Plain and simple.
And people that understand the real estate world, they think when they hear that, they say, so I'm changing the demographics. I'm putting low-income people in, which low-income people bring headaches. These people do not bring you, they are needy, but they don't bring you the headaches that you would get with your traditional rent. And that's what most people start looking at. My traditional rental, if I'm in a CD class neighborhood or a CB class neighborhood, I'm going to have a bunch of cars. I'm going to get a bunch of headaches. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that going on. They're going to be tearing my place up. But it's a different class of people. I just don't know how to explain it, but they have a tendency of caring a little bit more than they do because they have been homeless. So they have a tendency of loving the fact that they got a place to put a roof over their head, and they don't destroy like you think.